All right, so a lot of Vikings fans are excited given the performance of the team week one. As you know, I am one to pump the brakes, especially when we don't know how bad the Giants might be. We just don't know.
So the Minnesota Vikings have the chance to get a little payback against the team that knocked them out of the playoffs in 2022. But things are looking a lot different this year. It has been a wild couple of months for the Vikings. They drafted who they thought would be their franchise QB, but then they found out he was done for the season, and it would be Sam Darnold under center, which completely changed the outlook of everything. But one thing was still certain. They had the best receiving core, containing the best receiver in the league in Justin Jefferson, along with upcoming players like Jordan Addison, along with a top tight end in TJ Hockenson, and a new running back from the Packers in Aaron Jones. So not all was completely lost. In week one, the Vikings went into New York to face the Giants and completely dominated. It was so bad to the point where you couldn't tell if the Vikings were playing that good or if the Giants were just that trash. And I think it was a little bit of both. Anyways, in this video, I'm going to talk all about the Vikings, what my takeaways were from their week one victory, and also what they can build on from it heading into week two against a much tougher opponent. But before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 40k subscribers, and with your support, I believe we can get there super fast. Alright, so first off, recapping what went down in week one against the Giants, Sam Darnold delivered 2 touchdown passes in what was a strong debut. A 22-yard completion to Josh Oliver set up a short Aaron Jones touchdown run to open up the scoring. Darnold then connected with Justin Jefferson for a 3-yard touchdown, and later hit Jalen Nailor on a 21-yard strike to extend the lead. The defense really took over in this game, exposing Daniel Jones and forcing him to throw 2 interceptions, along with not allowing any touchdowns. Aaron Jones ended this game with 94 rushing yards and a touchdown. Justin Jefferson had 59 yards with a TD, Addison had 35 yards, and Nailor also of course had a touchdown. But again, I was really just shocked with how well Sam Darnold played. He actually looked like a competent starting QB. But again, I know it was against the Giants. The real test is coming up this Sunday against the 49ers. The defense started off strong, forcing a punt on a 3-and-out on the Giants' opening possession, and forcing a field goal after the offense gifted the Giants the ball on the 20. And they kept it up all game, not giving up a TD. So an outstanding overall performance by the defense. But dumb, undisciplined penalties in the first half were really the only negatives. Jay Ward's holding on the first received punt of the season, costing 20 yards of field position, was not a good look. The defense lined up offsides. Pace had 2 penalties in the late first half punt, and there was a defensive penalty on 3rd down, giving the Giants a first down at the end of the half. So not the right way to start the season in that regard. And teams better than the Giants will make them pay for that kind of foolishness. But anyways, Andrew Van Ginkel sealed the game with his pick 6. That was one of my favorite moments from this game. And with Sam Darnold under center, the defense is gonna have to do a great job of getting turnovers and creating opportunities for the offense the rest of this season. Moving on, let's really get into some film from this game and break down what the Vikings did well. Starting off right here, well, first off, I'd like to recognize how ugly those Giants uniforms are. Holy cow. On defense, this was a great job of covering the whole field, especially the flats, while also bringing pressure to make Jones feel the need to get rid of the ball quickly. Singletary looked up and had absolutely nowhere to go, with 3 guys swarming to the ball. Now on offense, let's take a look at Sam Darnold. I feel like he really has an undeserved bad rep. No, he's not the greatest QB you'll ever see, but when he's on, he can make plays with the best of the best in the league. And in this game, he was on. Here, the offensive line kind of imploded, but he evaded the pressure and took off with nowhere to go with the ball. He turned nothing into something, and that is what great players do. Here is what Darnold had to say in the post-game interview following the win.
You know, a good team win. I thought our defense and special teams played really well. I think, as an offense, we got going early, but, I think there's a lot to clean up there. It was good to get in the end zone a couple times, though, and yeah, but like I said, just a really, really good team win.
Here, this was a bomb to Addison, and sometimes when you're throwing into a crowd, it's best to underthrow it, forcing the defender to go into the receiver. It actually often draws pass interference penalties, and I'm not going to give him too much credit here. Very well could have just been a bad throw, but in the end it worked out to the Vikings' favor. Then at the goal line, after getting stuffed at the line on the first attempt, Aaron Jones took a counter to the left, and all he had to do was outrun the one guy containing that side of the field, which is like a layup for a player of his caliber. I think Vikings fans are really going to fall in love with Aaron Jones this season. I know they had Dalvin Cook, but I just love how Jones contributes in every phase of the game. Here is what Aaron Jones had to say in his post-game interview following the game.
I'm feeling great. This is a great way to start my journey with the Vikings, and as a team, we came and accomplished what we wanted to do. Came out, put some points up on the board. Our defense kept them out of the end zone. And I think we played some complimentary football. We can definitely clean it up, but I think we looked pretty good.
Moving on to later in the game, I don't know why, but this play just really stood out to me. Backed up at their own goal line, everyone is expecting a run up the middle, but they run play action and completely throw off the defense to pick up the easy first down to give the offense some space to work with. And then here is that pick six play. Such an ill-advised throw by Jones, but for Ginkle, he read it perfectly, was in the right spot at the right time, and executed when the ball was in his vicinity. Because so many times, we see defensive guys drop something like that. According to PFF, these were the top 5 offensive players in the game. Number 1 was the left guard Blake Brandel, number 2 was Aaron Jones, number 3 was Sam Darnold, number 4 was Brian O'Neill, and number 5 was Christian Darrisaw. On defense, it went Van Ginkel, Smith, Pace, Phillips, then Medalis. Alright, now let's move on to this week's game that's quickly approaching against the 49ers. And let's just be honest, it's gonna take a miracle for the Vikings to win. The Niners just have so much front-end firepower. I don't know in what world anyone would predict Sam Darnold taking that team down. But it is the NFL, and on the right day, anything can happen. But one thing is certain, the Minnesota defense has to play flawlessly. And one big factor of this game will be if Christian McCaffrey is back and healthy or not. So Darnold is going to have to look Jefferson's and probably more Addison's way early and often. Because you figure the Niners will have 2 guys worrying about Jefferson pretty much at all times, so it's going to be up to the guys behind him to really produce. And Aaron Jones is going to have to come through with one of those 150-yard rushing performances as well. So the O-line is going to have to come in ready to dominate. The biggest adversity the Vikings are going to have to fight through this season is injuries. I mean, we're only 2 weeks in and you can already see some of the lingering effects, but I believe in this group. Are they going to be a Super Bowl contender come January? Obviously not, but I think this team can hang around playoff contention if they control what they can and win the games they have a chance to win. This isn't going to be the dumpster fire so many people said it would be after JJ went down. That's really all I have to say for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe because your support truly does mean the world. And also, let me know what you would like to see next, and until then, I will see you all later.
All right, want to start out with just a couple game updates. Jordan Addison will be out for the football game. He's doing really well in his rehab. Don't have any kind of timeline on next week or anything like that, but he will be out for the game this Sunday. And then we'll have 3 players questionable. Ed Ingram with his tricep, just a little something that popped up yesterday. He did work in a limited capacity today, but got a good amount of work in, so we'll evaluate him off of that.